Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Mono Builders Workshop. This week we have Rohit and Ian from Reown Protocol, formerly known as Wallet Connect. So I'll hand it over to you guys to give a little bit of a intro of what your protocol does, and then we can hop into things. Sound good?
Yeah, it works for me.
Awesome. Go for it.
Hey everyone, I'm Rohit and I lead the developer relations team at Reown. So I think before everybody knew it as Wallet Connect. So right now Wallet Connect is known as or rebranded into this new company called Reown. I can quickly share my screen and then maybe take everybody through an overview of what Reown has to provide and one of our major products, which is AppKit. Just give me 1 second. I'm gonna put this into slideshow. Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Awesome. Yeah, it's going to be a very quick overview of how you can build on Reown AppKit. I'm pretty sure you're probably wondering what exactly is AppKit, but I can give you a very quick overview of what AppKit is. So AppKit is one of our major products, which is also an SDK that allows users to provide end-to-end wallet interactions on their Web3 application. So you could be building a DeFi app or even a social finance application. And if you're willing to power end-to-end wallet interactions, you can do so with our AppKit SDK. It's fully open source and free to use. So you could just go there, you can im import the packages, set it up, and then get started in less than 20 minutes. Um, and why exactly AppKit? So right now, the problem is there are many users, and your users are sort of coming from different directions, and they need to go to different places for different purposes. So I've given this very simple overview on the right-hand side where you can see if this is your application, and then your users can either connect through the Wallet Connect QR module, or they could just patch together different wallets. So traditionally, what people have been doing is that when they're building a Web3 application, they configure each wallet on their own and how it needs to be supported one by one. Using AppKit, you don't need to do all that because within the model, you have over 400 wallets that you can pick from and just let your users connect with whatever wallet they already have. So you're basically covering many different user types, and you're also covering users who have many different wallets that you may never have heard of. So it allows you to reduce overhead cost of, integrating those one by one, and at the same time, you can do so very quickly and at the same time reduce maintenance. If you're a developer, you probably know how big of a hassle it is to just sort out the inconsistencies or incompatibility that arises from your dependencies when something breaks or something changes. With Reown, you don't necessarily need to do this because we sort of abstract away all this in one SDK. And yeah, you can also get to know your users better because we have a dedicated analytics that allows you to see how your project ID has been used, how many users are trying to connect to it, and what kind of interactions they're performing. So this allows you to simply just focus on building the app and ship it. And
Can I ask a
like I mentioned
question?
before, yeah, yeah, of course.
So
Go
if
ahead.
you go back to the last slide, um, I know Wallet Connect through that like QR code pop-up that I've seen from a long time ago.
Yeah.
And then I think I've seen the modal more recently in a few apps. How are those related? Like, was that the old solution versus the new solution, or like, yeah,
Yeah, of course, I can give you like a good overview of what it is. So the QR model that you're talking about was how Wallet Connect was founded. When it was born, it was just like a QR code that you can scan and connect your wallet to. It was nothing beyond that. It was just like a QR code that people can integrate within their application so users can scan and connect their wallets to. But after that, we launched something called as Web3 modal, which was the modal that you see to power end-to-end wallet interactions. So this can allow your users to sign messages, connect their wallet, and also perform transactions. So that is the modal that you're talking about right now. So the QR that you see right now, that's part of the Wallet Connect network, which is a network of its own. So In a sense, you can think of it as an ecosystem of nodes or wallets that are coming together to provide or facilitate this QR model that you see. So all the wallets that you see in this QR model, when they make themselves available, they also make themselves available within the Wallet Connect network. So it's like an ecosystem of wallets. And AppKit, the new model, is sort of built on top of that, leveraging the underlying Wallet Connect network, which is the QR code.
Awesome. Yeah, that was my question.
Yeah, I can proceed then.
Yeah.
Yep. So I already probably gave you like a very high level overview of what exactly is AppKit, but I can dive a bit more deeper. So on the right hand side, you can see that this is what a model would look like if they're using AppKit SDK. So regardless of what wallets they have, or regardless of whether they have used or not used the Web3 application, or whether they're Web3 native or not, we provide them with the support for them to connect with any method or login method they're familiar with. So this is where account abstraction kicks in, where we allow your users to basically use their social logins to create a custodial account, which is temporarily custodial, but you can always make it non-custodial. And then this will just quickly spin up an EOA address very quickly on the back end. That way you can onboard millions of users without having to worry about doing any of this yourself. And at the same time, you can see that there's an option that says all wallets, which has 370 plus wallets covering different networks. They probably have wallets that you would have never heard of, but again, there are people with different demographics who actually end up using these wallets. So that's where you really get to customize your flow and how you need to determine the interaction would look like. So if it's a very Web2 centric app, you can literally remove all the Web3 aspect. You don't even need to have like Wallet Connect, MetaMask, Trust, or all wallets. It would just be like a simple and sleek social login form. And once they proceed with the login flow, it's just going to give them an account to get started with, and then they can proceed with their journey in Web3. And again, you can support the latest standards. So like I mentioned, dependencies is a big issue since developers piece together and use different Ethereum libraries or even SDKs that other wallet companies provide. It becomes kind of a hassle for you to keep up to the latest updates that they keep doing and keep maintaining it over and over again. With this, you sort of don't need to do that because again, everything comes under the AppKit SDK. And when we do provide an update, we make sure that all of this is updated as well. So it's super straightforward. Uh, and what exactly does AppKit have to offer other than being just a connect wallet button? So again, like I mentioned, you can use social login. So here you can see that you can just use your email, and you'll also see an option that says upgrade your wallet. So you can basically transition to a self-custodial wallet, which means you get control of your own private keys. And again, you can always use your own EOA address through MetaMask or any other wallet if you want to. And we have
I
inbuilt
have a quick
on-ramp
question.
and yeah.
So with the being able to add your own wallet, if this is a account abstracted app where you're trying to do almost like a session key type user flow to where, it's a custodial wallet and they can just click buttons and it signs for them on the back end. If they then upgrade their wallet to a self custodial wallet, does it remove that account abstracted nature of it, or do you wrap their EOA in like a smart contract wallet to allow that experience to continue?
So again, there are always going to be trade-offs to
Uh,
which method you prefer. But if you were to upgrade it to self-custodial, that EOA address would always be tied in with the social login that you originally used. But except that there's one trade-off, which is you lose having social recovery. So in this
mm,
case, if you were to, you know, forget about this account, you could always just sign in with the same method. Let's say if that was Google account originally when you created this account, you sort of instantly get control. But when you upgrade to a self-custodial wallet, then if you lose your private key, you most likely can never recover it. So that's the only trade-off. But again, to answer your question, even if you were to upgrade it, that wallet will always be tied into the social login method that you initially used. So it wouldn't change that flow.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah. Uh, you can continue. Sorry.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other thing is it provides on-ramp and swap stability. So you could think of it as just a simple wallet connect button. When you connect your wallet, within that modal, you could basically buy crypto tokens or even swap your existing tokens. What this does is it allows you to not have your users go through different applications just to get a bunch of tokens to perform interactions with your application. You basically have everything within your application. And then, like I mentioned, you have analytics. So when you obtain a project ID from Reown's cloud, you could basically use this project ID to configure your application. And when you do so, we have this dedicated analytics that allows you to see how many daily wallet connections you have, what kind of country are these people coming from, and many other data that is probably going to help you do targeted marketing. And the other thing is it's multi-account supported. So what I mean by that is you can have n number of accounts at the same time, and you could easily and seamlessly switch between these accounts. So for example, if my first EOA address is, let's assume rohit.eth, and my second EOA address is ramesh.eth, I could instantly switch between these accounts without having to do so with any extra configuration because it's inbuilt within the AppKit SDK. And you could even fully customize this flow, which means you could add your own theming, your own font, your own logos, and fully make it customizable with your branding and your theming. And we also have one-tap authentication. So you may have seen this famous meme where a, a user is playing this Web3 game, and every time he clicks on the game or even like moves his mouse, it instantly throws a MetaMask transaction screen where he has to approve something every time he makes an interaction within that game. You could sort of avoid this with one-click authentication where using smart sessions, you basically approve that particular contract address or that particular application once. And you could revoke this whenever you want, so it can stay alive for 1 or 2 days. That way, you can just play this Web3 game without having to sign a transaction or sign a message every 2 seconds. And
And you can do
it
that
also,
even with the self-custodial wallet, correct?
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
And the other thing is fetching token balances. So this is again a hassle that you may face if you're configuring different chains that aren't directly supported with an Explorer by default. So you sort of have to be the one to configure this. But with AppKit, you're avoiding doing that on your own as well. And you also have a dedicated transaction history that is going to be pulled into the modal when the user connects their wallet. And what else
The
do we do?
indexing for the token APIs and stuff, is that your own indexer? And then like, can they plug in other indexers if they have like filtering they want for say like safe token lists and stuff like that?
So right now we have our own indexer, but again, like if you want to configure it with or override it with an indexer that you want to use on your own, you can always do that.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome.
And yeah, we also have gas sponsorship, which means you basically set up the paymaster and you could sponsor gas for your users within your application. So this is something again that's highly optional, but I think it does make a difference to user experience. And the same with token paymaster and smart sessions. And yeah, right now, the biggest feature that I'm truly excited about is AppKit is now multi-chain, which
Yeah.
means we already support any network that's EVM compatible, but now we also support Solana, which means within the same model, you have two different networks or n number of different networks. EVM, non-EVM doesn't matter. One model is going to be sufficient for you to power these interactions. So this makes sense for DeFi applications or even bridges or token bridges that want to have multiple different networks, but they don't know how to do so without, piecing things together from different providers. And the next chain that's going to be supported soon is going to be Bitcoin, which is very exciting because right now there's a lot of traction going on there. So I'm truly excited about what kind of builders we would attract. So yeah, more on that will be announced soon.
Can I
So
ask a
it's
question
what,
to follow?
yeah, of course.
Sorry. If you want me to wait, I can wait till the end, but.
No, no
Uh,
worries. I can answer your questions.
um, with the token swap API modal, is that also cross chain or is it single like single chain?
So, you mean the swap
Yeah, the
functionality?
swaps one. Yeah.
So under the hood, we actually use 1inch as our provider. So they have a swaps API, I suppose, that we sort of have configured into this. If I'm not wrong, it's only for EVM as of now. But moving
Okay.
forward, we'll probably add other providers that can do this cross-chain.
Awesome.
Uh,
Um,
yeah, I mean, if you have any questions, I can answer before I proceed.
yeah, Chris asks, can you send me how one would plug into a custom indexer? Um, can look into it if I can plug in the Ghost indexer and maybe
Sounds
we can do
good.
that as a
I can
follow-up.
probably
Yeah.
do that at the end. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, when Bitcoin support comes in, we'll probably be adding Cosmos, Sui, Aptos, and many other chains and many other ecosystems. So you could think of it as one powerful model that can let you interact with multiple EVM and non-EVM networks. Uh, and yeah, this is just a tagline that I usually like to say, and this is also something the company promotes for us that we like to build the future of on-chain. So really good user experience is something that always matters to us. And this sort of helps us shape the product as well. So if you really see something that's breaking or making the experience for you, please let us know because that's how we can improve from here. Uh, and yeah, integrating AppKit is super easy. If you scan this QR, it'll probably take you to the docs and you can get started. We support 9 different frameworks, if I'm not wrong. So you could build it on mobile, Unity, and also with web frameworks, which I think is super diverse and super flexible in terms of what you can do with this. And if we still have time, I can probably show my VS Code and also spin up a localhost instance of AppKit and show a demo.
Yeah, please do. Actually, that would be awesome.
Okay, just give me 1 second. Can you see my screen?
I can indeed.
Awesome. So again, a very, very simple demo. I like to keep it simple and not add too many things because it gets distracting. So right now you see that my Ethereum wallet address has already been connected and I did connect those with MetaMask. So there's this network selection button, and when I click on this and scroll down, you could see there's a bunch of EVM chains, and then there's Solana and Solana DevNet and testnet. So if I were to click on Solana, it's automatically going to switch because I already have connected my Phantom wallet
Mm.
address. So if I were to quickly open Phantom, I'm not sure if you can see the extension. Can you?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. We can see the essential.
Oh, okay. So this is my account, and you can see that this is my Solana address, which is what is connected to the AppKit instance right now. And you could also, again, buy crypto to get started if you already don't have some. And if I were to switch back to Ethereum, it's going to instantly switch back to my EOA address on MetaMask. And if I were to move to a different chain, it's going to ask me to approve it on MetaMask. I'm going to put this here. And I'm going to click on switch network, and it's super straightforward. As long as you use both different wallets for both different networks to sign in once, the switch between them is like super seamless. You don't need to approve it a bunch of times just to like switch from EVM to Solana. And that's a quick demo. Now I could probably show you how much code there
If
is to
the
configure
actually, I
all
have a
this. Oh
quick
yeah.
question. If the wallet, say you wanted to use Phantom for the EVM and Solana side, do you just connect it when it prompts you for the EVM address to Phantom, and then you also connect the Solana side to Phantom both, and it'll just default to that endpoint, or
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so in this case, I have configured Ethereum as my default network. So if I were to log out and then connect again, I could, again, as you see, it says Phantom is multi-chain, Magic Eden is multi-chain, whereas MetaMask isn't. So if I
Hmm.
were to connect with Phantom, give me 1 second, it says unsupported network because my default network is set to Solana.
Yeah.
So maybe I can move it quickly. Oh, it's weird because Phantom already got connected to my account, if you can see.
Oh
So
yeah, it
the
already did it.
address is 0x8D and it's connected, but for some reason Phantom threw an unsupported network error. Not sure what that was. Uh, so now if I were to move to Solana and click on switch, it'll still ask me if I want to continue with Phantom or use a different address, a different wallet. And if I select Phantom, again, I need to select the chain, and you can see that it's the same account that was powering both Ethereum and Solana. So now we could try going back to Ethereum, and you could see
And it
it's
defaults to
same.
the one
Yeah,
in Phantom. Nice.
yeah.
Awesome.
If
Cool.
you have any other question, I could probably take it up before I show my code screen.
Does anyone in the audience have a question? You can type it. Okay, so we got one coming in from Chris. He's asking if I use social login in one app and then use the same social login for another app, would Reown give me the same address across apps?
That's a really good question that a lot of people usually ask me. So to answer your question, yes, you would have one universal address across all different applications. And the cherry on top is you would not only have it for you would not only have the same address across applications, but you would also have the same address across all EVM chains. So you could think of it as like one social login or account abstraction address that remains the same across any app, any EVM chain, as long as you use the same social login method. So if you use Google in the beginning, as long as you proceed to use that, it'll be the same.
So even if you sign up for a new application after you had already signed up for one previously and you use the same social login method,
Yeah,
it'll default to that wallet address.
yeah, yeah,
Awesome.
exactly.
Beautiful. Chris says, love to see it.
All right. I have one
Awesome.
question as well. Um, hey, I'm Port. So, a nice meeting you here. So, my question is that you're not using Privy for that, right? It's your own implementation, the social
So,
login.
so no, we're
And
not using Privy. We do use a service under the hood which is called Magic for our social
mm,
login feature, but it's sort of integrated within our SDK, so you don't need to do it yourself.
and how are the private keys managed? So, how exposed are they? Can I get my private key back if I wanted to?
Oh yeah, you just need to go through the upgradation process to make it self-custodial. And when you do that, you
Mm.
basically are in control of your own private keys.
All right, that's cool. That's cool. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm glad I could help.
And do you have some examples in your docs that I can just quickly set up and test?
Yeah, of course. So if you were to, maybe I can share my screen once again. Give me 1 second.
Like some starter kits and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have example repositories that are super
Oh
easy
yeah,
for you to
amazing.
clone and get started with. So when you go
Amazing.
here, just select AppKit, you could go to any framework. So here it's React, and then you could also do the same with Next. And if I were to click on WogMe, here you get the implementation.
Ah, that's
And
nice.
there's also a video tutorial for you in case you want to check it out. And the other thing is we also have a dedicated laboratory. So if you were to click on AppKit demo, you basically have all you need to test your implementation out, and how AppKit would look like.
Nice. You even have the bun. Man, that's very cutting edge.
Yeah, glad to hear it.
Nice. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm glad I could help. But yeah, apart from that, if there's something that you don't see on the documentation or even on the website, feel free to reach out to me. Maybe I can drop my Twitter by the end of this call, and then in case you guys need any extra support, just DM me and we can get the ball rolling from there.
I think an AppKit um, extension could be good
An
for
extension?
scaffold ETH, an extension, a scaffold ETH extension for AppKit. Let me send you a link if I can find it. That would be
Yeah, of
very, very
course.
cool. But
Yeah,
I can't find
I
any
don't have
links when I
full
want to find
context
it.
on it. Yeah, I don't think I have
Yeah,
full context on it at the moment, but that's probably something I can look into later and then maybe see how we can figure that out.
so I can give you a bit
Yeah,
of a
just give me a second.
background, and maybe Port can hop in if I'm explaining it wrong. But scaffold ETH is like a really quick framework for setting up a project on Ethereum. It has all sorts of like extensions, is what they call it, which are basically plugins that you can just like very easily click up and spin up and basically add into your like initial template for an app. And so I think the suggestion is to make a app kit extension so that if someone
Yeah.
wants to spin up like a project, right, they can just select that as the extension and it automatically does it. So
Got it. If I'm not wrong, like I mentioned before, we had the previous version of Reown AppKit was called as Web3 Modal. So I believe Scaffold 8 does have an integration with Web3 Modal, but I don't think it's updated to the latest kit. But maybe that's something I can work on to,
Oh yeah.
have up and running.
Let's get it through. Let's get it broken. Let me
Yeah,
check that.
absolutely.
Let me check what it has right now. So you said it was called Web3 model before, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure. I could be wrong, but I remember that Scaffold 8 had an integration with Web3 Modal. At least this is something that I remember seeing on their GitHub.
Yeah, let me check. Let me check. May I just DM you about this after the call? If that's
Yeah,
okay.
absolutely. Yeah, I can
All
drop my
right, let's do
Twitter
that.
before we
Yeah,
wind up this call and
drop it.
then
We will give you a follow. We will give you 10 follows. Hell yeah.
awesome. Love to hear it.
so we have another question that came in. Um, hey, I saw in the docs there are two kits, app kit and wallet kit. What is the difference between them? Can I use them for management assets or something else? Also, the docs are so good, useful, and simple. Thanks a lot for that.
Awesome. Yeah, I can take that up. So if I have to answer it in a very simple manner, AppKit, like the name suggests, is for Web3 applications or projects building Web3 applications. So you can power end-to-end wallet interactions using the AppKit SDK. WalletKit is sort of for people building wallets who want to provide good connection or good interactions with applications trying to power with these wallets. For example, if you were to take Trust Wallet, they could integrate with WalletKit SDK to, integrate new features that these applications might be looking for. And they could also integrate with WalletKit SDK to make their wallet available within the Wallet Connects QR modal. So if you want to be a part of that modal and you want to really make sure that the experience is top notch, then you could integrate WalletKit. Does that answer your question?
I think so. Think so. Awesome.
Yeah, before any more questions come up, I can actually quickly share my VS Code. I'm not gonna do a hands-on coding session or anything, but just like to show you how easy it is to integrate a multi-chain model. Give me 1 second. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
So yeah, since I am using so many different networks, there's gonna be a lot of import statements. So the first thing is again, like you need to configure an adapter. If you're using Solana, there will be one for Solana. If you're using EVM, you could either use Ethers or WogMe. And then after that, you basically just need to import the networks from one of our packages. And when you scroll down, you set up the metadata for your application. Again, fully optional, but in case you want to do this, you could do that as well. And if you're wondering what this is, please ignore it. It's just me passing custom images for each chain because I didn't like the way it defaulted to some of the images that were available on VM. So I'm just passing different logos for each of those chains. And this is the main create AppKit function that sort of initializes the AppKit model or the wallet connection model that I showed you in the demo. And within that, you could configure which adapters you want to pass. So one is the WalkMe adapter, which is for EVM networks, and the other is Solana adapter for Solana. And I pass the networks. Here you could see I'm configuring a bunch of EVM networks and also Solana. Apart from that, I've set the default network as mainnet, and you could also configure different features. So whether you want to make email login available or not. If you're using social logins, what social logins do you want to provide as an option? And you could also set theme mode, and you could also fully customize this. But to keep the example fairly simple, I just kept the bare minimum, which is analytics, socials, and I want them to show email social wallets as well. And if I were to go back to the index file within my config folder, this is where I set up the adapter. So as you can see, I'm creating an instance of WalkMe adapter, same for Solana adapter, and I'm basically exporting them so I could import that into my context index.tsx file and pass them with an app-kit. So this is like what, 59 lines of code. This is 30 lines of code. And then I basically call the W3M button or the AppKit button here, which is the connect wallet button that you see. Yes, super straightforward. And most of what you see here is just tiling. It has nothing to do with integrating the SDK.
Awesome. I mean, it looks simple enough. Does anyone have any questions? Okay. Nice.
I
Okay.
can
Well, I have
quickly
a
drop
question for
my.
you. What are some of the most interesting applications of AppKit that you've seen so far?
You mean applications using AppKit?
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, so one of my favorites is actually this application called Berapong, which is like an interactive application on Berachain. It's
Uh,
super cool because they have a fully customized flow. Maybe I can try finding their website in 1 second. So I
yeah.
really like it because it looks super fun and super interesting. This is the URL. So here, when you open this and click on the Connect Wallet button, like I mentioned, you could fully customize it and you can see that they're using AppKit and it's like fully customized with their own fonts and everything. So it's just really unique and I really like this application.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. So you can go as detailed as even the text branding and everything.
Yeah. There's
That's
another thing
awesome.
that I probably forgot to mention is that right now, if you're using AppKit and if you want to build like a Telegram mini app, you don't need to do any extra configuration. You just code it the way you would code a mobile application or a web app, and automatically it would function with Telegram mini app. So you could basically have a connect wallet button with social logins on your Telegram mini app with no extra overhead. You don't even need to write one extra line of code because it just comes out of the box.
Oh, that's pretty sick.
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot
Do
to
you have any,
mention that,
do
but
you have a demo of that somewhere or anything?
give me 1 second. Can quickly pull that up.
Oh, that'd be amazing. Yeah, we have a port built a little slot machine. Maybe that's how we add the wallet connect to it.
That would be cool.
Mm.
Very fun.
Sorry, my Telegram is taking a while to load. I'm trying to open
No,
it
it's
so
all
I
good.
can.
Also, yeah, you probably don't want to expose all your messages too, so take your time.
Yeah, give me 1 second. Yeah, maybe you can use this. There are a bunch of examples out in the wild, but I need to like really look into the list that I have somewhere within Slack and figure it out. But you could use this. There's also on the docs. So if you were to
Oh, the
open
test bot.
this,
Yeah.
you can try out the flow. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
awesome.
nice.
Oh, I see it. Oh, yeah. You hit start. AppKit.
Oh, oh,
Confirm.
oh.
Oh, this is great. Okay. Yeah, it opens right up in the mini app itself.
Oh, nice.
Beautiful.
Yeah, the best part is like you also have social logins, which I think not a lot of Telegram mini apps are doing out of the box. So I think this is a game changer for them.
This is awesome. Hold on, I'm gonna take a note down here so I can make sure after these calls I usually attach any resources you share into the upload. So I'm gonna upload this as well.
So if we integrate this toolkit to a Telegram game, and if they sign up here inside the Telegram game, they can just reach their account somewhere else in another app, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
So it's like I
this is
mentioned, it's going to
amazing.
be one universal account. So
This is so good. I love it. This
yeah, I'm
makes it
really glad
so
to hear
much
that.
easier for me to do stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I think like my primary focus is to sort of create more awareness. Like Kevin mentioned, I think everybody sort of thinks of Wallet Connect or Reown as just a QR that you can scan and connect your wallet to, which would have been true a couple of years ago, but like the product is so far ahead and they sort of moved on from that. And I feel like we haven't done a good job of educating people about this, and that's why I want to do, more things like this so people actually know that, oh, there's actually a product that you can use and benefit from.
Yeah, no, thanks for coming
Yeah.
on. I mean, it's been pretty awesome, honestly.
Hell yeah. I didn't
Yeah, I
know
can
that
also,
Volcanic can do these. These are actually awesome. Awesome. I love it now.
yeah, I'm really glad to hear that. I'll also drop my Twitter in the chat because I think a few of you guys requested for it.
That's what I was going to ask for
Yeah.
next. Awesome.
Give it to me.
Yeah,
Give it to
thank
me.
you.
Full out.
I will add this to the
Oh yeah.
resources when we get going. Awesome. Well, unless anyone has any other questions, I'll give you a second. If you have any other questions, definitely speak up. Otherwise, we'll go ahead and call this a successful meeting. Can you actually drop the docs link um, in the chat
Wait
as well?
1 second.
And then we do have a question. There are no new questions. They're all good questions. Um, so back end is handled by your part, is what he's asking. Is the back end of this modal handled by your part on you guys' end?
Yeah, yeah, it's fully us supporting it.
Awesome. Cool. Well, uh, response is nice. So,
Hell
do we
yeah.
got? Yeah, hell yeah. Hey, I'll give you guys one more chance. You got any other questions? Otherwise, Rohit's done his duty. Going once, going twice. All right. Thank you so much for coming on. I'm going to go ahead and end the recording here and we can go ahead and chat offline for a little bit. Yeah, let's go. Emojis in the chat. How do I do that? Oh, react. Here we go. Cool. All right.
Wow.
Uh, awesome, guys. I'm gonna end the recording here. Thank you so much. Oh, wait, how do I almost ended the meeting?